Good day kwese kwamuri. In today's class toda kuita a tutorial on the change of units kana kuti conversions. We are going to be using two ZIMSEC questions. The first question, as you can see, was taken from a paper 2 written June 2010, and the next question was taken from a paper 1 written November 2013. So let us answer these questions. Question yedu yekutanga, which I will call number 1, iri kuti 120 kgs of a certain metal has a volume of 0.4 cubic meters. Saka we are given the mass of metal. What is the mass of this metal? 120 kgs. Then we are given the volume, and the volume of the metal is 0.4 cubic meters. Zvova zvanzi, find the density of the metal, giving your answer in grams per cubic meter. Saka toda tsvaka the density, of which tinoziva kuti density is equal to mass over volume. This is a formula we get from our science form 1, if I'm not mistaken. Saka we are going to work with 120 kgs and 0.4 cubic meters, then tozo convert that to grams per cubic centimeter. So let us find the density. So our density is equal to, our mass is 120 kgs over, and our volume is 0.4 cubic meters. Saka, since this is paper 2 where we are allowed to use a calculator, instead of wasting brain power tichida ku solve that numerically, we can just put it in our calculator. 120 dividing 0.4, tinowana 300. So this is equal to 300 kgs per cubic meter. So George, a student in the method, by the way, I want to continue this with the method we discussed. Certain method that I discuss, you can look at our most previous question, kana kuti most previous tutorial under change of units. You are going to find out that. So we want to change 300 kgs per cubic meters to grams per cubic centimeter. That is what we want to do. How do we do that? We can kick off by interpreting 300 kgs per cubic meter. Kuti 300 kgs per cubic meter zvinoreva kuti 300 kgs over 1 cubic meter. That is what it means. So kana tika convert 300 kgs to grams, to convert 1 cubic meter to cubic centimeters, then we simplify what we have as a fraction, we get to our answer. Saka zvatodota panapa, this obviously is going to be equal to 300 kgs. Tinoziva kuti it's 300, we multiply by 1000, we get grams. So there are many ways of coming about this. One of the ways being iko kuti kilo. This is now physics. It's a prefix. Inoreva kuti times 10 to the 3, kana kuti times 1000. But without getting into the physics of it, you can just know if 1 kg is 1000 grams, then 300 kgs should be 300 times 1000 grams. That's easy. But let us say it's over 1 cubic meter, because I want to show you how you convert 1 cubic meter to cubic centimeters. The way you do it, let me do in a different color. Saka kuti 1 cubic meter zvinorevei. let us have a cube. This is the cube we have. 1 cubic meter cannot a volume of 1 cubic meter inongoreva kuti 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter. Saka the length is 1 meter, the width is 1 meter, the height is 1 meter, 1 cubic meter. Converting this to cubic centimeters, we still have the same cube. Instead of having a length of 1 meter, let us say our length is 100 centimeters. Then width here do total 100 centimeters and our height 100 centimeters. What we basically did, ta converter the meter to centimeters. Ta replace apatatu 1 meter, tikanyora 1 meter asi ari centimeters. So it becomes 100 centimeters times 100 times 100. This then gives the conclusion 1 cubic meter from this cube is equal to 100 times 100 times 100. That's how we find the volume, remember. Kungoverenga kuti masero mangani 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it's 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. 1 cubic meter is 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. As mabhuku akawanda anowanzo kunyora zvakadai so 1 cubic meter is equal to 10 to the power 6 cubic centimeters. I think it will be easier to remember if your learning modus operandi is to cram or to internalize, to rote memorize. But that is where it's coming from. Saka, having come to this conclusion, it will be easier panapa to just say this is equal to 300 times 1,000 is 300,000 grams over, then this is 1,000,000. 1 cubic meter is 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. Masero 3 aya ochekana ni 3 anaya. Then masero 2 aya ochekana ni aya. Tosara tina 3 over 10. 10 into 10 ndi 1. 10 into 3 ndi 0, comma. Toisa a placeholder panapa. Tozoti 10 into 30 ndi 3. Therefore, our answer 300 kgs per cubic meter is equal to 0.3 grams per cubic centimeter. This is our final answer. Saka ndo maitirwa zvinoita. There are other ways of going about it, of course, but with George, this is what we discussed. So I want to reinforce it since the student is showing, George is showing, they are actually mastering this way of doing conversions. Saka, this can be part of your working. Mnenge makungoti kana mchida uta make this part of your working. This is going to be your step number 1. And saka this will be your step 1. Step 1 kunyora information yamapiwa, mass of metal, volume of metal. Step 2 kuisa formula. And please remember, kana mchiweka zvinhu zvine formulas, nyorai formulas pasi sezva ari. That helps a lot. Helps you remember. Also, it will work in your favor in the case they want to use method marking. Then step 3 kunenge kwago replace mass and volume. Then tovatawana this our answer. This will be your step 4. And it kutaura zvamuroda kuita, like interpreting 300 kgs per cubic meter. Step 5. So if you want to make this your step 6, mozongoya panapa moisaka heading converting 1 cubic meter to cubic centimeters. Maybe a semicolon. Then you do your conversion. Mozoya kuno kuiri step 7. Then finally your answer is step number 8. So what I want to reinforce is try to communicate your working to the best of your ability. Pese panodaswa tuma statements tunotsanangura briefly kuti muri kuitei, do so. Like kuti converting 1 cubic meter to cubic centimeters. Ipo pano manga mchigona kuti converting 300 kgs per cubic meter to grams per cubic centimeters mumaite yenyu working, kuitira kuti basa renyu rive as clear as possible, uye in the event maite a mistake and they need to apply method marking, they can easily allocate marks to you. So this is what was expected of us. Let us now go to our number 2, starting with 2a. Saka 2a, write 3.35 minutes in minutes and seconds. Saka, one way of doing this, which is what George did and it's so correct, kungoti 3.35 minutes is equal to 3 minutes plus 0.35 minutes. But since once to convert from minutes to minutes and seconds, so kuti part ya 3 minutes yatova okay. Chatakuda ku convert is 0.35 minutes to seconds. So togona kuti converting 0.35 minutes to seconds like this. How do we do the conversion? We might employ proportion, and proportion not within proportion in GHT. We know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. What about 0.35 minutes? How many seconds is that? But the other way of doing this, kuziva kuti 0.35 minutes actually means 0.35 of 1 minute. That is what it means. Kana kuti 0.35 times 1 minute. Mugona chimiona zvakadai so. Correct, this will be equal to 0.35 as a fraction, the 35 over 100 times 1 minute in seconds, the 60 seconds. Then you can check a 0 in a e, move a mati 10, cannot 5 into 10, that's 2. 5 into 35, it's 7. 2 into 2, it's 1. 2 into 6, it's 3. 7, 14, 21. 21 seconds. Like that. Therefore, 3.35 minutes ingeri equal to 3 minutes 21 seconds. Like that. So atopera. There are many ways of doing this. So many ways of doing this. But I think this is the most cleanest way of doing it. So I think this is what we're going to do. Kana paine muine question, of course, you can ask. That is why we are here. Let us go to part B. Part B manje. Irikuti, if 1 kilometer is 5/8 of a mile, convert 75 miles to kilometers. So I want to use proportion up. But I charge you kushandisa zvamunenge mapiwa ne question. You might know kuti a kilometer is equivalent to how many miles. But since question yatotipa ma specifications ayatipa, I charge you kushandisa zvamapiwa ne question. Saka let us read our question again more carefully. Toda kuziva our true statement and also our question. Remember, these are called statements of proportionality. Kana ngoti statements of proportion. So if 1 kilometer is 5/8 of a mile, saka 1 kilometer is equal to 5/8 of a mile. Saka a mile ichi is 1 mile. And 1 kilometer is equal to 5/8 of 1 mile. Kureva kuti 1 kilometer ingeri equal to 5/8 of inorate times 1 mile. In simpler terms, 1 kilometer is 5/8 miles. Like that. So statement ndo ranada kukuratidza. Question ina kutaura ichiti 1 kilometer is 5/8 miles. Yati of a mile. just a rhetorical way of confusing you. Saka if 1 kilometer is 5/8 of a mile, zvinongoreva kuti 1 kilometer is equal to 5/8 miles. Okay, then convert 75 miles to kilometers. Saka our statements of proportion angakamira kadai so. Let me start from this end with a different color. Saka 1 kilometer is 5/8 miles. Question yati convert 75 miles. So 75 miles anonyora kuside kunema miles is going to be x kilometers. Those are the statements of proportion. We have our true statement yata deducer from the question. 1 kilometer is 5/8 of a mile. Then we have the question, meaning x kilometers is 75 miles. Then from here, what do? We know that we are going to make an equation out of everything. Kuside kuno each other 1/x. Then ma semicolon anova equal sign. Then panapa each other tarisisai 5/8 over 75. So I know that asata fractions erudzi uru but ariko. We actually want to solve that. So how are we going to solve that? The way we solve this is cross multiplication. Saka x anono multiply this numerator, 75 ono multiply that numerator. So it is going to be 1 times 75 is equal to 5/8 times x. Like that. What is 1 times 75? The 75. 75 is equal to 5 times x. Cannot 5/8 times x becomes 5x/8. Then of course we can multiply both sides with 8. This is paper 1, saka tina calculator. We are actually going to do it physically. Saka rigandiwe kuside kunoku. Ndoda kuziva kuti 75 times 8 ndiani. 8 times 5 ndi 44. Ko 8 times 7 ndiani. Ndi 56. Saka 56 plus 4 ndi 60. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 600. Saka kuside kunoku tiri kuti 600 is equal to ma 8 angacheka nauko 5x. We need x, saka we divide both sides na 5. So what do we have as our final answer? Panapa teta kuti x is equal to 5 into 5, that's 1, into 6, 1 to carry 1, 5 into 10 ndi 2 into 0 ndi 0. So x is equal to 120 kilometers. That is kuti therefore 75 miles is equal to 120 kilometers. That's our answer. And our answer makes mathematical sense. Since kilometer iri hombe kune ma miles. Actually a mile is a fraction of a kilometer. So kuti ma kilometers atinotarisira kuwana pa 75 miles anofanirwa kukura kudarika 75. You see? Do you understand the logic of it? Saka, please keep that to mind. And that is how this is done. Trick yanga ingiripo ndeyekuti muone pakanzi 5/8 of a mile varongoreva kuti 1 kilometer is 5/8 miles. Then mozogona kumanipulate panapa. I also want you to look at the syntax panel. 35/8 ka division sign aka. Ka division line aka takaita kadiki but over 75. Kudifferentiate ma division lines uku kuitira kuti musazoita mistake. Nokuti mukazvinyora zvakadai so kuti 5/8 over 75 munogona kuita mistake, then mozonyora iri 5 dividing 8 over 75, which is wrong. Iwe chifango kuva chi 5/8 dividing 75. So ndo pamwe pamufango kuchenjera. Otherwise we've done our due. This is what we wanted to learn. I end this lesson by inviting you to our school, the Math Up Mathematics Institute na Sendi. If you are in O level and mathematics is giving you trouble, you can try us. We try to work together to make sure that you get a good and better grade. Our focus, patinogadzira malessons aya, we are targeting mainly those who are finding mathematics difficult. Number 2, those who are repeaters. We target you with these lessons. That's why we try to explain, sometimes making our videos inconveniently long, because we have the student at heart. So the number, your WhatsApp is, if you are in Zimbabwe, 0715213310. If you are outside, you just add +263, which is the Zimbabwean code. Thank you and have a nice day.